All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Good afternoon. Hi. Welcome to Genius Cafe again. Aaron is back. Bapa Aaron is back here. My handsome brother. So today is the first Genius talk for in 2019. So we start with my handsome Aaron. Welcome back again. Hi, Cowboy. Welcome back to Cynthia and Scott as well. Okay, I'll give the time to you. Thank you. Oh, hang on. Just to let you know that we have a happy hour from 5 to 7. Happy hour, buy one, get one free. And then during the event, we have also discount, a special discount for you, and I think the card has been given to you. Okay, so have a good time. I hope you enjoy the class with Bapak Aaron. Thank you.
Thank you. Big round of applause for the manager. He keeps us all happy. All right, awesome. Welcome, guys. It's 10 past, so we're going to have a great time. I've been warming up on this topic from Africa. This is our third workshop. I was like, Premier was going to introduce, but we had someone. Okay, so I think there'll be recording as well. Yeah, so it'll be online in case you miss it or I speak too fast. Okay, so let's begin. Goal setting for 2019. Thanks for coming. My name is Aaron, as you can see, and I'm the facilitator, head coach for Start Results, which just means I enjoy kicking people's asses. But no, just kidding. I really help people with their performance. So just to kick off, I thought maybe it would be really nice because some of you know each other, some of you don't. So just maybe to warm up the room and get you guys to meet each other. Could I get everyone just to stand up, please? And go meet someone you don't know and just say, hi, my name is such and such. I run this business, or I'm thinking of this. And this year I want to be successful at ... including Axel. Axel is a really nice guy. You can talk to him. And you can't shake someone you know. If you know them, you can't talk to them. Yeah, I saw she's rocking it. She's here. Nice. Let's talk to someone you don't know. Yep. No, you cheat. Yes, what's the goal for this year? New Year's resolution. What is it going to be? Oh, you take picture. Awesome. Maybe meet one more person. Give your friend a high five and meet another person and just share one goal you'd like to achieve. So if you high five, then I know you meet someone else you don't know, not your girlfriend. You meet them later. All right, well done, guys. High five your friend and have a seat. Let's get started. Thank you. Awesome, awesome. Pacha. Okay, awesome. So, welcome new people and also not people, whatever. Okay, let's do this. So, we're going to go through a little bit of a journey. I started doing this last year. Mainly because, yeah, it's a long story there. But basically put, I find the people that can actually own responsibility for the problems they currently have tend to be the people that actually fix them. It's just kind of the way it goes. So when people go, everything's okay, everything's okay, everything's okay, it's almost like the same terminology we use in farming. I'm a farmer and you'll hear about the story in a second, where, you know, you plant a couple of roses, you want them to grow, and then you just kind of look and these sort of grass little leaves start growing around your seed, and then you close your eyes and go, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, there's no weeds. I think it's a kind of the same thing. When we don't first acknowledge that all of us have some problems, or we have a challenge, or we have something that maybe didn't help us achieve our goals last year, the first thing I think to do is first own it and say, okay, well, I didn't maybe get to the goals I had, because who here set some goals last year, January, for example, this time last year? Okay. And who here didn't achieve some of those goals? My hand's up too. All right, so something happened, right? So imagine we just go into setting new goals, and yet you haven't first acknowledged what the big problems were that stopped you achieving them the previous year. Does that make sense? So it's just a bit of what I call mature conversation. If you're okay with that, that's what we're going to do. Then we're going to talk about goal setting. Goal setting, for me, has two parts. I've seen a lot of people go for these sort of goal setting seminars. I hope I can give you guys some different perspectives on what to do differently, which can hopefully give you some different results. Then we're going to talk about achieving the impossible. And some of you asked me to share a bit of my journey in the last couple of months. I've traveled to so many cities around the world. It's been amazing. But in my experience of every single place I went, it was like an impossible experience, because once upon a time I wished I could do these things, but then now I was accomplishing them, but it still felt pretty impossible to me. So how did we get there is something I want to share there. And then we're going to talk about what can you guys do moving forward from today, because it's so nice to get motivated, so nice to get some tools, but what can you do, some simple basic steps, hopefully that can help you so that you can make this year extraordinary. Who would like to know about that? Good, so you got to stay till the end. If not, well, you can go work on your tan or something. All right, so it's just a couple of steps we're going to go through. So yeah, just to get started, I wanted to share this slide because it's a very important one. I have some clients who are in Toastmasters. I really love Toastmasters, but unfortunately they just don't like me. They kicked me out. So one of the reasons is because I swear quite a little bit, and I used to think there was a problem with that, and there is, depending on the situation. But what I wanted to share about this slide is twofold. Number one, I figured out that the best way I can share information with you, in the best way I know how, Vicky, is to be authentic. Yeah? And the only way I can be authentic is to pretend you're just my friend, we're catching up for a drink, and I'm just having a chat with you. Yeah? So if it's okay with you guys, that's the person that I am, and that's the person I choose to be. And I spent a good part of my life trying to please other people. That didn't work, so I just gave that up. And that's one part of it, is if it's okay with you, I'd like a vote for everyone to say aye, that I can just communicate the way I would if I caught up with you as a friend. I might choose the S word, I might choose the F word, but I promise if it's the C word, it'll be Christmas. So is everyone okay with that? Say aye. All right, if it's not okay, guys, I'll say there's the door, but there is no door here. So, you know, just like make yourself at home and go and do something different, because, yeah, it's just very hard work to pretend, okay? But that's the one question I want to ask you for this year or last year, for example. How many times were you pretending to be somebody else or trying to achieve things that weren't maybe for you last year? This is a very good question. And the second part to this is something my coach Les Brown shared with me. He says, most of us in business, you have to make a decision to stand for something or you're going to fall for everything. So where does that quote find you? Are you the type of person that's been trying to do business like somebody else all this time and you're finding you're not getting results? Or are you actually going to make a decision this year to do business authentically for you in the best way you know how? Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. Yes or no? Good. So I hope that helps you stand your ground and be yourself. Yep. So let's see if I can cover this in 5 minutes. This is a bit about my story. That I think I've shared way too many times. I think too many workshops last year, so I'm a little bit over it, but I'll share it again for some of you who've never heard my story. So basically, I was born in Zambia, Central Africa, and lucky for me, my parents were my first mentors. They just worked really hard on a farm. And the thing with farm work that I like, it's a running joke, is farm work never gets done. You know, there's always something to do. So the advantage I always had, which I didn't know was an advantage, was on farm work, nobody ever complains about working. It's just everybody's doing it, right? And so there was never, hey, what are you doing on the weekend? Well, it's pretty obvious. I'm fixing a fence, I'm taking the cattle out, I'm doing something. But then what was interesting for me is when luckily, long story short, a missionary found me. They were having a program under World Vision, I think, to cherry pick a couple of kids from rural settings, move them into one of the missionary schools in Zambia at that time and teach them English, whatever. He just picked a couple of kids and he picked me. Why he picked me, I don't know. I think I was just working hard and he said, oh, that kid must be good. So that's how it pretty much happened. So I consider myself very lucky. But when I moved to this high school, I started rubbing shoulders with diplomat kids, with white kids, with green kids. No, just kidding. With just different type of kids from different demographics. And these kids had Nike shoes. These kids had more than 2 pairs of clothes. I mean, these kids were like expected to eat 3 times a day. Like, this stuff was mind-blowing for me. Because where I came from, I mean, we celebrated if we had 1 meal, let alone 2, you know. So that's just kind of my story. But what was interesting is when we started doing sport or people would ask us to do certain projects, I would just go at it. Because I thought maybe they're going to cut off the food. I don't know. But I would just work so normal to me. And I recognized other people would say, Aaron, why are you working so hard? And I was like, what do you mean? And I wasn't even applying myself because where I came from, I wasn't even the hardest worker. So in case you're wondering, this story is about you more than me. Is I meet so many entrepreneurs that have come from employee environments. And then they go and apply themselves in business the way they were applying themselves in an the way they're applying themselves in employment. And I've got news for you, my friends. Entrepreneurs have to work hard. They have to work hard. And this is one of the biggest challenges I have. Because here's something I need you to write down. Are you ready? Aaron Mashano. Come on. Those of you with notes. That's me, in case you're wondering. Yeah. Aaron Mashano loves, what's the word I use there? Yeah, I love to coach expertise. I want to give you skills that are going to make you successful. But I hate, yes, spiritual people in the room, I do have that emotion too. HATE, I hate coaching motivation. That's your job. I cannot work with people who are not motivated to learn skills. I will not. And this is the biggest problem I have with coaching these days. I'm a coach, but I'm a business owner first. And I had to work hard to earn what I have. So I find it very difficult for people who want to come and do nothing or get everything for nothing or get rich quick kind of thing. It's not that it's not possible. It's just I don't relate to something I haven't earned. Is this making sense? But people want me to motivate them. Now, today I probably, because I got coaching from Tony Robbins, I can inspire you guys a little bit. But please, from today, make a decision that 2019, you're going to be self-motivated. Just do that part. Because here's my point. I'm not the best coach in the world, but coaches love to coach expertise. Did you hear me say that? But that's my rare... I am blown away at how people think the coach is responsible for your motivation. No, my friends. That's your job. So I was always self-motivated my whole life because that's just how I was conditioned by my parents. And lucky for me, got me recognized. This guy gave me a scholarship. Then he asked me, okay, well, you're in this school now. You're working pretty hard. What do you want to do with your life? And I said, well, you know what, Mr. Solomon? He's Australian. It's like, you know what, mate? No, I didn't say that those days. I couldn't even speak English. I said, well, I think I want to change my country because I'm sick and tired of being broke and poor and everyone complaining and seeing these poor World Vision black skinny kids when the fact is they're not even anywhere near my house. Whatever. So I want to change all that. He goes, okay, well, you probably got to change your country. And to change your country, you probably need to change the constitution. I was like, what's that? He says, well, don't worry about it. It just means you got to become a lawyer. I was like, okay. I didn't even know what that was. And here's something you guys don't know that I didn't know until I got to Australia later on. I'm dyslexic. It's a little bit of a little hiccup in that situation because you got to read and write all the time. But I didn't know what I didn't know. And sometimes that's a blessing. Okay? So some of you are waiting to know everything before you act. My friends, that's not how it works. You got to apply this old-fashioned word called a little bit of faith sometimes. Yeah? Okay. So, he helped me get there. He sold the dream about going to Australia. Lucky for me, I listened and I worked hard and I got myself a refugee scholarship through Zimbabwe. Long story. 2000, that's me, landed in Australia. And I had never seen so many white people in my life. I was like, wow, look at this. It's so amazing. But I didn't even know that I didn't know what to expect. But I was wondering if there's Skippy and Opera House and Crocodile Dundee. I don't know if you've seen any of those movies. Some of you are too young. That's what I expected. I don't know about you guys when you travel. You just have this perception and you get there and you're like, What did I sign myself up for? But here's what's interesting about that story, and I'll move on from there. I was lucky to be with 2 other kids. I got the scholarship, they had to pay their way. So they came with me. We ended up at this place where they register everything for the scholarship and tell people whatever. And three of us were there, standing there. My English was kind of getting better. And I talked to this lady, I'll never forget this, Concord West, 2000. And I got there with my piece of paper and $250 in traveler's check. Some of you are too young, don't know what that is. But I wouldn't explain it, just Google it. Traveler's checks was what I had in my pocket that Mr. Moffat had left me. And I'm sitting there, I remember this is my little backpack, whatever, 2 kids from these diplomatic families. And I looked at this lady and we're like, here's my piece of paper, you know, I'm polished, I put Vaseline on my face, I'm still shining, I still do, you can see that. And I'm like, okay, we're here. And she's like, okay. She looked at her piece of paper, I looked at her records, and then she said, oh, I have some good news and some bad news. I said, okay, what's the good news? What's the bad news? Because I like to finish on a happy ending. So what's the bad news? And they said, well, the bad news is, unfortunately for you, Mr. Solomon passed away 2 years ago. He died of brain cancer, and yeah, that's just it. And here's what really broke my heart, my friend. It wasn't the fact that, well, yeah, he passed away, but I never got a chance to thank him for giving me such a big vision to think bigger than my current situation at that time. So I don't know where I'm finding you today, but I hope you get a big vision about this year. This is so, so important. It might be impossible to you, but it is important that you have one anyway. Because that vision got me to that doorstep, got me through all that processes to be in Australia, and I never ended up thanking the guy that believed in me more than I believed in myself. But the second thing he said to me is, well, the bad news, or she said to me, sorry, is, the bad news is, oh, that was the bad news. The good news is, she says, well, welcome to Australia. I was like, well, what do we do now? She goes, well, I don't know. Well, the program's cancelled, and you might have to go home. Here's the problem, my friends. I didn't have enough money to go home. But here's what I want to leave you with now. 2 of these kids, very wealthy kids, from wealthy families, sorry. They got this old mobile phone thing, you know, from the bag. The one, you know, back in those days was huge. And they called mommy and daddy. And all I heard was something to the effect of, no problem, in 2 days' time, business class tickets will be at such and such place. Book yourself into a hotel, all sorted. What would you do if you came from a poor background like me at 17 years old in a country where you didn't know anybody? What would you do? Well, I don't know what you do. Me, I pissed myself and I cried. That's what I did. But why am I telling you that story? I'd love to tell you I was brave and courageous. That's not what happened. But here's some quote I want you to write down that taught me something really important that I want to teach, and I keep teaching this every single talk. The enemy of a great life is a good one. The enemy, Sylvia, of a great life is a good one. These 2 kids were from wealthy families. They could call mommy and daddy to bail them out of every situation. I didn't have that option. So guess what? After 2 days they were gone. I have never seen those kids again. I don't know what happened to them. Me, I became homeless. But lucky for me, because of this work ethic, back in those days, you hand out resumes. There was no LinkedIn and all those sort of stuff. I put out, I think, 200 and something resumes. I ended up at this place in Bondi Beach, Australia. And lucky for me, the owner wasn't there, but this Chinese guy, refugee too or something, he came 2 years before me, saw the hunger in my eyes, and he says, okay, I'll give you a job, Alon. He spoke Chinglish. He says, Alon, I'll give you a job, you come and work for free. I can't work for free, I had to send money home. But I had to because that was the only opportunity I had. How do you deal with opportunities when there's no money in it, in your business? I'll tell you how most people act. They don't keep working. They just give up. I had no choice. So I got the job, but here's what was so cool. My competitor was an Australian surfer guy, used to sometimes come to work, but depending on the surf, nothing wrong with that. It's just I needed to survive. So 6 months later, I took his job. 6 months later, I was managing the food area of the restaurant because of his help and mentoring. 6 months later, I was at the cash registry. In a year and a half, I was managing the whole restaurant. How does that happen, my friends? Is it because I'm tall, blonde, blue-eyed? Good looking? Is that how I became the manager of a restaurant in 2 years? I'll tell you how it happened. There was 400 of us working in this place. I just outworked every single person. Every single person, I outworked them. And I got recognized, and that's how I got the job. So write this down, because some of you are new in business and you don't understand this principle. You make up in numbers what you lack in skill. Right, Devi? You make up in numbers what you lack in skill. So some of you are not putting in enough numbers in your hours of your business, and yet you're expecting to be an expert and proficient and profitable. It doesn't work like that. You have to put in more hours than you did in your job, because you're not competent yet. Entrepreneurship is a skill-based sport, and I use the word lightly. You must get skilled, and if you don't have them, you got to put in the hours. This is making sense. So I did. And here's what was interesting. When I did that, I also noticed Australia took off the white Australia policy that blocked crazy Africans like me into the country. And then 250,000 refugees were allowed through the borders, 2003 or 4, I can't remember. Tons of Africans came in, Sudanese, Eritrean, everyone. And I was like, I remember how tough this was. So how about I just help some of my fellow brothers and sisters to get a job? So someone else took my dishwashing job. Before you know it, 50% of people from Africa were working in this restaurant. This is just my culture, my friends. People go, you're such a nice person. No, I don't know any different. But here's something I've learned later on in my life. The most successful people are givers. The most successful people in business are givers. They're always thinking, how can I help somebody else, not just myself? And some of you have got it all wrong. You think you got to help yourself first, only, and you're wondering why things are going slow. So when I did that, FAIRFAX Media heard about my story, and they called me and said, hey, Mr. Mashano, could you come and teach our people about employment skills, because you're employing all these Africans in Hakoa? I said, yeah, I could do that, but, I'm getting like now $60 an hour. This is a lot of money at 21, and I'm sending money home, so I don't really have time. So, well, we have $1 million budget. Is that okay? I was like, okay, yeah. Somehow I found the time. So, my friends, that's how I made my first million. I started training refugee asylum seekers in all these printing industries and, blue collar, whichever one it is. Blue collar jobs, because they were underskilled and they didn't have English literature skills. And that's how I set up my training company. I didn't even know I was supposed to be a teacher, trainer person, but that's how I got in. Then some of the kids started getting into prison. I started coaching them too, because I couldn't get jobs. And that's how I just kept getting more and more contracts from the government. So what am I saying to you? Not all your goals are going to work out to plan. You got to be flexible. This is about you, okay? I'm telling you my story, but I hope you're getting it. Yeah, some of you are writing notes, the rest of you are like, oh, that's interesting. No, I'm talking about you. So, my friends, here's what's so funny when you make a lot of money and your self-esteem is very low, like mine was. I started buying cars in different colors. Porsche Carrera is my favorite, 911. I bought it in blue and red. I started buying some expensive friends. In Bondi Beach, I bought an apartment in cash. And I did something even crazy. I bought myself a wife. Okay, you think they're not for sale. Okay, get more money, you figure that one out. But here's what was so crazy. I stopped working and hanging out with my African community. I lost myself in it. So what happens when you're pretending to be somebody else and you're getting paid for that, and yet your self-esteem is poor? What do you think happens to your bank account? You don't just go down, my friend. I lost my business. I lost my contracts. I lost my marriage. And I owed $500,000. Success story, yeah? And the reason I'm sharing that with you is because I'm not here to sell you on the idea that everything's going to be a perfect story. I'm looking for people who are looking for me, who want to have a mature conversation about the price of success. Because here's my new resolution this year. Are you ready for it? Most of us are making decisions on the fantasy of something amazing, and yet we're not understanding even that fantasy costs something to us. So the mature person, I believe, and this is a Sarah Mashano workshop, you're here, is I'm not even interested in the pleasure of things anymore. That's a given, that's obvious, everybody chases that. I'm interested in the cost of things to me. So what is the cost to you to become an entrepreneur? Like a real one, not just the one that wears a t-shirt. Let me explain. Hard work. Did you hear me talk about that? Sacrifice, potential bankruptcy, stress, white hair, divorce, I don't know, health issues. I'm telling you, that is the cost for 80 to 90% of us. I wish it wasn't the case, but it is. And you need to hear that because some of you want to gracefully float to the top. I've never seen it happen for the true entrepreneur. Liz, you never had to work for your businesses? Yeah. It's like, what hours? What do you mean? You work all time until it works. For how many months? Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah, but I'm not making any money in 6 months. You're not meant to. It's called grow your skills. Unless it's a second business, that's a different story. Yes? This is just the truth, but here's my point. I know you guys don't want to hear that. It doesn't sell you tickets and coaching programs, but I'm not here looking for a consumer. I'm looking for an entrepreneur that wants to change the world with me. You see the difference? You got to hear it straight. Now, be smarter and maybe don't get divorced like I did, but you better be aware your relationships are going to have an impact because you're not putting in enough quality time there. Something has to give for a few years. And it's better you have those open communication with your relationships, your lovers, whoever. I keep saying lovers, don't I? Your lover. Whatever. Anyway, moving on. So, I'm just telling you, I've heard this story thousands and thousands of times, and I'm so curious about the people who just talk about the good side of success. There is a cost, my friends. But my point is, once you know the downside and the upside, you make one word called decision, and then you own it. And when you own it, you get goosebumps like me every single time, because I'm prepared for the hard and the good. I'll charge, but I'll invest. You understand? And that's the relationship I'm after. It's called return on investment. That's it. But it's expensive. But I can afford to invest in time, sacrifices, effort, consistency, changing skills, attitude. The list is endless. I'm still paying. It's called child support. You know, it's all good. So I'm not trying to belittle anyone here. It's just I want you guys to open your eyes before you take this year on and go, yeah, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. Really? Maybe stay in a job. It pays every month. That's cool. Blame your boss for everything that doesn't go right for you. This is a nice place. I wish I could go back. Actually, no, I'm just too invested now, but you get my point. So, my friends, I became homeless for the second time. But this time I did something even better. My insurance policy was so good, I was considering killing myself so my kid can have the financial success that he had. And in this crazy time, I don't know if you know people who've ever gone through depression, I collapsed my identity with my business success. So when I lost it all. And this is where I learned another thing you need to write down. Money doesn't make you happy. But here's the other side some of people in Bali miss. Neither does poverty. You understand? Being poor is not fun. So don't make excuses for not becoming successful either side. Be successful because you deserve it. You understand? Whatever that means. Is this helpful? Is this making sense? And some of you, $1 million is not you. It's 50 grand. It's 20,000. What are you chasing all this for and then you lose your health? What's the point? Or relationships. It's not worth that. But some of you are going to be the next Oprah in this room. I know it. And those are the people I'm also looking for because we need more role models. Yes or no? Okay. I'm not talking YouTube celebrities. I'm talking people who actually put in the work. Build something they can be proud of. Yeah? Good. So, my friends, lucky for me, a homeless person found me when I was trying to kill myself. And he kicked me and then I came to and he says, listen, you said you're going to make Africa a better place. You promised your mentor, you said you're going to be a good role model for your son. You want him to remember you as a suicidal father. I used to be. I was like, no. He says, okay, well, get back to basics. Go back and help your people and get back to business. And that's all I did 5 years ago, my friends. And here's what was so funny. I started working in prison. Why I ended up there. It wasn't like a strategy, right? Just being honest. Don't ask me what I was selling. But I just was so desperate to pay that crazy for other people at the detriment of whatever. But when I started working with these kids, some of them were war soldiers. They'd been killing since they were 9 years old in prison. These guys have a different life. Yeah? They don't listen to motivation. They'll look in your eyes and go, man, I know more about life than you do. And it's true. But we figured it out eventually, and that's where my politically incorrect style came from. And I started coaching them. They started getting themselves into different types of businesses that weren't selling products that would get them back in prison, you know what I'm saying? Right? And they were already entrepreneurs. It was easy. They already knew how to work. They knew how to hustle. They knew how to sell. They were determined. They were committed. They didn't mind a bit of rejection. They got it their whole life. Some of you don't have that. That's what you need to learn. So we got into some successes. They started getting ideas and making money, and we just got quicker at doing that. And then they told their parents. Their parents came back and wanted to start business, and then that's how I got into this coaching thing. I wasn't trying to get a certificate in coaching. I wanted to help more people solve more problems. So we just grew from there. More people told more people, and that's how we're in focus. Consistently solving issues. Consistently solving problems. There's a problem, I fix it. There's a problem, I fix it. And then I figured, hey, ladies and gents, how many problems do we have in the world? A little or a lot? So I don't understand how people don't have business ideas. I don't know what to do. I mean, come on. It's because you don't want to solve a problem. You just want to make money. But you don't understand. When you solve a problem, you earn money. That's all business is solving world problems. And when I figured that part out, I was like, okay, let's go attack the environment. Let's go attack, there's it's been moved, but there's a United Nations standard of all the things they want to solve by a certain time. Just pick one. You make money in it. It's not complicated. But that's right. You don't want to work for it. No, I can't help you there. Right? So I just hope I can help some of you kind of making this business thing too complicated. You have to want to love to solve other people's problems, because when you do, they pay you for it. If you don't believe me, try cancer research or Panadol brand for headaches. When you have that headache, you will pay money for it, right? To make that problem go away. So just turn on the news and pick a business idea. It's not that complicated. But when you figure out what I figured out a long time ago, you get super passionate about entrepreneurs. Because I believe they're the people going to solve all the world problems. One problem at a time. And I have a few of them in the room who are now clients. They're crushing it in Bali. Hey, Jerome is here. Long time. Yeah? It's just the way it is. This is another man solving problems with the water issue in Indonesia. It's not hard to find people I like. But if you're just sitting there watching Game of Thrones all day and complaining about the weather, I can't help you. Yeah? So, let's talk a bit about what some of the advantages and disadvantages are. First advantage is technology, my friends, can help you scale your business like crazy. Yes or yes? You just need to have a Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, T-shirt, Snapchat, photo, and title entrepreneur. You're in business with an Etsy account or something. But does that make you an entrepreneur? No. Because there's one fundamental ingredient all entrepreneurs must have, or two. One is work ethic. The second is appetite for risk. Appetite for? Did you hear me? If you want a job, you don't need an appetite for risk. It's called job security. This is good. But if you're an entrepreneur, you have to enjoy being uncomfortable. And if you're not, build it or stay out. It's going to be a very frustrating journey. The second thing that I like about technology, though, some of us are traveling to Bali, enjoying each other's company. You can come on your own. You download that thing I talked about called Tinder, yeah? Within 5 or 6 minutes, you're meeting someone interesting, or at least good looking if they don't lie about the profile, right? It's so fast. But does that mean, my friends, that you're going to have a good connection with that stranger you've just met? Just because their profile matches yours? Yes or no? No. So similarly in business, the same confusion of speed is being put to being successful overnight, because you think just because you downloaded stuff, you think you can download an entrepreneurial skill by just watching a couple of YouTubes and listening to some TED Talks and podcasts. There's no skill in that, but it's very crucial to maintain your motivation. Are you hearing the difference? People go, yeah, but I've got 2,000 hours in podcasts. I'm like, and what does that mean exactly? The time it starts to count is when you say, do you want to buy? Say no, Fabian. And Fabian goes, no, and my heart goes, ugh. That's when you're in business. That's the first hour I start to count. Rejection. Just making sense? Anything less than that, we're not even talking about the same thing. So, we're living longer, we're downloading things faster, but just because you have 10,000 likes or 1 million views on YouTube, my friends, doesn't mean you're making money. You understand? Don't get faked out by these online celebrities who are claiming a lot of things, but they're not telling you the key word is you're going to suffer for a little while, but you're going to gain ahead of time when you get your freedom and your time. I'm just telling you that's the truth. I've never, ever met a really sustainable financial business with someone who didn't put in some hours beyond crazy at some period of their career. Yes or yes, people who are at least doing okay in business. There's a period you just... it doesn't even make sense. But you're building your skills. I hope you got that. Here's the downside of the internet. There's a poll that was done in the West. 85% of people are now disengaged with each other. Some of you are in these co-working spaces. I work with all of them all over the world. And I'm looking at people who are not even connecting or talking and asking each other what skills they have. And yet I know nobody has a budget for it. The collaboration can be insane if you connect and network organically offline. And I think this photo some of you have never seen. I recommend you Google Elon Musk 1980s. You wouldn't want to talk to this guy. He wasn't the guy you see today. Yes or yes? And I can't tell you how many people regret not talking to this nerdy guy. The billionaires in this room are here, I'm telling you. And some of you are too cool, jacked in, that you're going to miss out on some of the biggest networks on the planet, because in 10 years' time, one of you is going to make it. Two of you is going to make it. Will it be you? I don't know. But I'll be crazy not to say hi to you. Is this making sense? So, I like what Gary Vee says, is some of us are just too fancy about entrepreneurship these days. Nothing beats this. Nothing beats this. I hope you get that. Okay? The other thing is there's a lot of money in the market. Seed funding, investment capital. People think we need a lot of money to be successful. My friends, we're failing faster. 75% of startups that start with $1 million fail within 18 months. Fail. And not just fail, they owe money. How does that happen? It's because money doesn't solve bad products or services. You understand? I really hope you get that. And I coach and I invest and I'm on these panels everywhere in the world. I'm telling you, it's always better to bootstrap for as long as you can. I'll say that again. It's better to bootstrap for as long as you can. Why? You own the equity. When Facebook went live, he was selling bits and pieces of his equity for hundreds and millions of dollars. Mr. Uber, on the other hand, sold too much too early. Guess what? He only owns 5% now. Good question. What does bootstrap mean? Jennifer?
Bootstrap is where you would not be getting an investor early on. You'd be using your own money and being resourceful.
Something like holding yourself up by the boot of your something. English is not my first language. So that's amazing. All my companies are self-funded. Do you know how amazing that is for me? The things I had to learn when I run out of money, the things I can do, the skills I had to learn, the confidence I've built to go, yeah, I'm losing this, but tomorrow I'll make it. You make different decisions than, oh my God, now I owe $1 million in expenses of salaries, and I don't know where the next million is coming from. This is a very different conversation to, I don't know where the next $100 is coming from. But $100 is still a percentage, isn't it? If you can earn 100, you can earn $1 million. But if you borrow $1 million, it's going to take you forever to make a profit. Now, I'm not telling you do this and that. It's all industry specific. But I'm just telling you, the attitude is what I'm here about. This is why they're failing so fast, because they're coming from employee mindset with a lot of money, not entrepreneurial innovation. Very, very, very big difference. So I'm just saying, just chill out. If someone wants to give you some money, good. Put it in savings and use the interest. You get me? That's okay. Good. Hope you got that. So what have I been doing for the last 15 minutes? I've been talking to you guys about some things you already know. I'm not smart. You'll figure that out very soon. It's just what we don't think about, my friends, is we're all coming here with a comfort zone, past experiences. Yes? Okay. Coming with past experiences and all that sort of stuff. I think you had something about this, but I can't remember. Anyway, tell me afterwards if I got it right. That's my boss. So, the comfort zone here, yes, usually comes up with a total of 20%. 20% is usually our comfort zone. What's in the 20%? 10% of it is what you know about yourself. Your name, what school you went to, if you think you're smart, ugly, dumb, short, black, it doesn't matter. That's what you know. Yeah? The other 20% of your comfort zone is the things you don't know. So you know, but you don't know enough about. Like, for example, who's never been to Zambia? Like, never been to Zambia, Africa. Okay, but I just told you about it. So you know there's a country out there where I'm from, and you know something about it, but you don't know anything about it, right? That's something you don't know. And that could be something like quantum physics. So for some people in the room, business. You know about it, but you don't know anything about it, right? So that's 20%. Here's what I find fascinating. The magic happens in the 80%, which are the things you don't know that are fucking you up. That's the first F word for the day. Things are just fucking you up. And here's what I find curious about us humans, including me. We fight about the things we think we know about, and we have no idea about them. But we have this thing called opinions. People tell me, no, Aaron, you don't understand. You know, I want to do my business like this, like this, like that. I'm like, yeah, but what do you know about business? What's your experiences? Have you ever been bankrupt and got yourself back out? If the answer is no, just listen. God gave you, or the universe, 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Or what if I told you you don't need money? What if I told you business is harder than you think, but easier than you know? You know what I'm saying? These are the things I'm trying to inspire you to think about in goal setting, because I'm going to give you guys some tools that are going to blow your mind, I promise. But most of you are coming in with what you think you know, which is called your past experiences. And yet, the future is probably going to be the best future you could ever imagine, like it was for me. My last 5 years are better than my last, I turned of age now, 32 years now. I got to be, my birthday was recent. So, I just, it's getting better. But there was a period of my life, I thought everything's shit. Yeah? Everybody's shit, everyone lies and hurts me. And I thought that was how my life was going to be. But I didn't know what I didn't know. Yeah? I really hope you get this. Some of you are sitting on a gold mine, but you need to start thinking differently. So my goal as a coach is not to push you into the unknown, but it's to just challenge you a little bit like I did for the last period, to say, what if you're really wrong about this thing? And the right way to think is that business is so simple, but it's not easy. It's so simple. It doesn't have to be as complicated as you make it. This is not school. Yeah? Try and take that on. So, and this dies usually around now. Dick, Primi, you might need to help me. So let's talk about the whole goal setting thing. What is goal setting? Well, actually, before we do that, let me share a couple of lessons of what I learned last year in our craziest year of my whole life. Who would like to know? Just a couple of things that maybe will help you with some of the lessons, and think about it for yourself. I hope there's some lessons you learned for yourself. So here's the first one I learned. Commitment hurts, but it always pays off. I made some big commitments last year that cost me some relationships. And some of these relationships to me were like the most important thing in my life. I made some big commitments about my health, which meant I had to run 4 or 5 days a week, and that hurt my body. Okay? But as I was talking to Liz about, because we're on a health tip this year, it just paid off. I had so much more energy for my business. So much more energy. It hurt me to let go of some really bad key partners. Well, actually, Axel will tell you, they got rid of me. Okay, let's be honest. Okay, I got kicked out. That's really what happened. It hurt. We lost a lot of money. Months. What are we going to do? Yeah, remember that? Intense. But it paid off for me to move on. I just moved on. No, it didn't happen overnight, but you get my point. Okay? Next. I found out that I'm just one of these oak tree types. The seed kind of gets planted, nothing really happens for a while, and then boom, something happens near the end. Some of you are the opposite. You're like Michael Jackson, 5 years old, you're already there. Billie Jean, whatever, right? Cool. That's my singing career there. You know, you just get success early. I don't know. I don't understand you types. So my point about this is I meet people on both sides of the fence. Some of you, success is going to be slow. Are you hearing me? And you're nodding because you know it's taken you a while to get here. So my point is you're probably like me. And some of you, well, I don't know, you're just these open types, open chakra types, yeah? Things just kind of drop in, drop in. But whatever you are, make sure you take your time with ambition. Because it's not like anybody else's. And I'm not here to tell you, get rich 6 months, you're going to make it. No, you got to know your own pace. Is this making sense? And some of you are frustrating your business, making stupid decisions to get rich quicker, when the fact is you just need more experience. So in the meantime, go get a part-time job. You get it? I really hope you got that. Next. Maintain your self-care routines. I never put this in until I lost a couple of businesses and I almost lost my health. Well, I did lose my health. I was just lethargic and bloated feeling. Who knows that feeling sometimes? You're just not at optimum all the time. That affects your business and it eventually affects your bottom line. You need to know that. And some of you are going to make a lot of money and you won't even have time to enjoy it because you got your liver transplant, you're in a wheelchair. You know, this is not fun. So what's my point? Make a point to have self-care routines. One of the best ones is start to love yourself. You're enough. Try that one for size. Yeah, I see. Next. I tried to change my ex-wife. Still trying. It doesn't work. But here's what's so fascinating, guys. The day I changed myself, yes, I just became a happier person for me. I started disciplining myself for not making excuses. I started not making excuses for the environment and everybody else. I just said, you know, I'm going to fix my environment. Here's what was so fascinating. Everything changed. She started treating me better. Isn't that fascinating? My father started talking to me after 20 years. He hasn't changed. I have. That's the quickest way for change, my friends. And some of you, this is the problem. You have daddy issues like I do, and I'm still waiting for him to support me in my business. Some of you will be waiting a long time. Just move on. I really hope you got that. Yeah? Last, limit social media. Limit social media. There's always just other people's news about shit that's probably not true, including mine, okay? Yeah, I'm smiling on social media, but I'm probably getting my ass kicked 9 times out of 10. So, but I'm not going to post that. It doesn't sell. Just know that. And bad news. You're watching news to find out what happened in the tsunami, the Kitas issues. You're hanging out with friends who are giving you more bad news. My friends, you won't get out of bed. You won't get out of bed. I don't have time. I limit bad news. But then I'm not knowledgeable. I don't care. Trust me, if there's news for me to know, someone's going to tell me about it, right? I'm just too big, right, Liz? Some of you, you go out to get the bad news to justify your situation. Move on. So, first goal is to define what is a goal. Because I can tell you we can do this goal setting thing. You go to another workshop tomorrow, next year. Same. But one thing most people don't do is they don't define words. There's an interesting book written by a historian about world wars, and they said the #1 reason for world wars is misunderstood words. Misunderstood words. Can you believe that? Misunderstood words. So some of us say, I love you. In my mind, I love you means you're going to feed me. That's what Africans think love is. You know. Other people know love is quality time. Other people, it's like your chakras are open and you're yogi. I don't know. We're basing it on our own perspective. So, for a change, let's all decide and agree, this is what I mean by goal setting before I proceed with the tools. Is that okay? It means this. Specific things we all want to achieve in a stated period of time. So if there's no time period to your goal, it's not a goal. It's a delusion. And if it's not even stated or written down somewhere, it's a discussion. None of those is a goal. But I can't tell people, how's your goal? Oh, yeah, man, I plan to become this and this. We all had that nice little chat with each other. Cool, but that wasn't a goal. That was a discussion. You get it? I hope you got that. So this is traditional goals. People say, go to kindergarten, then go to high school, get good grades, and then go to university or college. Some of us were terrible at this thing, so we never go far. And then go to get a good job. I've done this thousands and thousands of times around the whole world, my friends. Everybody says the same thing. Doesn't that disturb you? We are conditioned to go for means goals. So if you get this, it means you're going to be more successful in the next place. It's going to mean you're going to be more successful in the next place. And then once you get your job, it means you're going to be happy. Is that true for 80% of the world? No. So I just recommend you really check yourself before you wreck yourself. Yeah? If it's not where you want to go, I strongly recommend you start looking backwards or forwards rather, which is, hey, if I go do this like I used to be a lawyer, am I going to be happy with myself in that lifestyle? Answer for me was no, but I went there anyway because I had to make my parents happy. Some of you, you're choosing this business thing, but you don't understand. You may not be happy here. My recommendation, strongly, is rather than thinking about what does it mean to make money in a business, ask yourself, are you going to be proud of yourself when you have a successful business? And if so, what type of business are you going to be proud of? Some of you in the wrong business. I have Clementina here as a client. I love her concept because she's so passionate about the environment, and we figured out a way for her to do, what do you call Fishnet? Fishnet, that's the dress she's wearing, that's her product. She's still connected to the environment, but she's connected because that's what she values, and so that product is aligned with her, you know what I mean? So when she makes billions, and I want 10%, yes? When she makes billions, she will still be happy with herself. She's not going to nick herself. I can't tell you how many people get to the end and then they kill themselves. What a waste. They just could have prevented themselves by going in the right direction. Is this making sense? So don't just set goals like $1 million when you don't even really know what it feels like to make $1 million a year. Because some of you might have to put in 80, 90, 20 hours. You don't want to. So change the goal. Is this making sense? I really hope you got that. So here's what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way. I meet most people, I've coached too many. They start here, they look around with what everybody's doing, and then they do the same thing. And after a while, everybody's doing the same thing, eating the same thing, talking about the same thing, complaining about the same thing. And then the growth is exciting until they graduate, and then they retire, and then it drops. And then it drops. And there's nothing wrong with this curve if that's what you want. But this curve, my friends, is called security. But here's what's so fascinating in business. Write this down. The enemy of success is comfort. The enemy of success is whatever you think is going good for you right now, trust me, it's going to change. It's going to change. Yes or yes? Nothing stays the same. So why would you expect that in business? Here's what I hope I can encourage some of you who are really serious about business. This is the journey. Yeah, I made money. Oh, crap, that customer canceled. Oh, that was amazing. Oh, crap, my wife left me. Oh, my God, I got a new contract. Oh, shit, the policies changed. This is the journey. But here's what one of my coaches said that I loved. He said, stop signing up for mundane, start signing up for adventure. This is an adventure. But I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. There's going to be a lot of dips. But here's what we actually psychologically know about ourselves. Who here loves a bit of diversity and growing in things that help you become a bit? Okay, that's the journey then. But why are we fighting on to security then? Why do we need guarantees? There are none. I was going to say who's been married and divorced, but let's not go there. I said forever after. It didn't happen. But shit happens. I grew from it. I'm better. I hope. You understand? But business is the same. So, be prepared. So we're going to do a quick little workshop. If you got a pen or a phone or grab someone's white sleeve and write on it, I don't care. The 3 areas I recommend at least you start setting goals in for 2019. Number 1 is financial. Why? That's not the tool yet. Give it back. Hold on to it. For people, who's here at the idea stage of their business? This is goal setting for entrepreneurs. Who's still at the idea stage? Oh, hello. They haven't monetized their business. I forgot that was still in there. Yeah? Okay. So people at the idea stage, they call it the ideation. Just means you haven't quite sold the product yet or made money in it, but you've got an idea. That's good. I challenge you to set a goal within 3 to 6 months to monetize that idea. What does that mean? Make at least $1. How much? Just one. And not from your grandmother. Not from a relative. Okay? This is a very different customer, yeah? One from a random stranger goes, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll spend the money. And we call that minimum viable product. That's what MVP stands for. Now, if you're past the ideation stage and you've made $1, $10, $1,000, sometimes never, whatever, I challenge you, and Lotte will tell you this, to double your sales revenue. So whatever you made last year in your business, set a financial goal to go double. Why double? Because if you set $1 million, your brain will go, you are kidding yourself. But double is a bit practical, isn't it? But guess what you can do? If you're really ambitious like us in our company, we set a double goal, but we aim to hit it in a quarter. And when we hit it in a quarter, guess what we do at the end of the quarter? We double it again. And that might take a little bit longer, but once we hit that, we double it again. Last year was just insane. But it's more practical because as we double, we're growing in confidence. But if you set it too far, you're being delusional. Because you don't have the skills. Is this fair? Anyway, you get my point. Number 2. I don't have time for this, but let's just say I'm meeting a lot of people who are like successful, and I'm talking in all areas of life, and we'll talk about that later, but they've done it for like 10 years minimum, decade onwards. These people told me, Aaron, happiness is bullshit. I'll explain. I could be really happy to be here because I'm living my mission, but I call my mom who's not well, and I get sad in an instant. So it's a bit of a yo-yo circumstantial thing. Whereas I'm fulfilled whether my mom is sick or not. Is this making sense? And when you start pursuing fulfillment goals in your life, my friends, you will never, ever need anything. It's completely different. I'll share some of those later. But these are things that have been just universally accepted as things that make people successful. And growth is the game, not happiness. You might want to write that down. It's not, what am I going to enjoy here? It's, how can I grow here is a better question. Is this making sense to you guys? All right. Some of you? Good. So what are the things that fulfill you? Is it walking on the beach with your lover? Or whichever one it is. Is it traveling? Is it learning new things? I don't know. But these goals, if you think about it, you can do them for free. And you can do them for a little bit of money, or you can do them for a lot, right? But some of us are like, okay, well, I'm just going to like put that off until I make $1 million. And trust me, only 4% of people make $1 million in business. You never get there. Why wait? Start small. I really hope that helps. Next. Oh, my favorite recently. It's like, there's just certain things I just love about my life. My son, my team, these team, you guys with the t-shirts here. Just rock solid dudes, man. Our tribe, our clients here. I have a great time at their expense, but it looks like they're having a good time with me. So we have a good time. I just love that experience. And I will work as hard as I can to maintain it and grow it. But that is so curious to me because here's what's so funny. When I was just a solopreneur, I took less risks. The minute I had a bigger team, we do crazy things. Why? We do more for others that we love than we do for ourselves. So my challenge to you today, stop being so self-centered and start asking yourself, who can I do this for that's going to be beneficial? When you get into that way of thinking, my friends, your business will explode. Explode. Because you're going to work that little bit harder for that person. Example, personal training. Go to the gym by yourself, 10 push-ups, no problem. 11, Go with a personal trainer, you rip you apart, you do 20, 30, right? You get it? I really hope you get that. That's just how we are psychologically. So, here's a couple of steps for you to take in 4 steps. Couple of steps to take in 4 steps, was that English? Anyway, first set yourself long-range goals. What are long-range goals? Long-range goals is anything from 1 to 5. My recommendation on our program for clients, at least in the room, it works for me, so I'm giving you what works for me last year. We set 3-year goals mainly. So remember I talked about financial. That's the easiest one to measure. So let me work with you on that. what would you like to earn in 3 years' time per month? So let's just say you're earning 2,000 now or 500 now, it doesn't matter. Try and go a little bit crazy. Make it more than 10x. Just more than 10x. You're like, that's impossible. I know, it's 3 years from now. Don't worry about it. Okay? Has everyone got a financial goal for 3 years from now? So it's 2019. We're talking about December 2021. If I'm your coach or you're my friend, I'll call you and go, hey, how much did you earn this year in 2021? You say, man, I smashed it. I'm at 100,000 a year. I'm at 200 a year. I'm at 50,000 a year. Whatever it is. Has everyone got a financial goal? What you write down gets measured. Just make it up. It's okay. Just write anything down. Trust me. Everyone got something down? 3 years from now, 2021. Long range. So you can put there 2021, long range, this much per month or per year. Doesn't matter. Profit to you from your business, I'm assuming. Yeah? Good. Even easier. Just make it sales revenue. Much easier. Because if you think profit, oh, you'll be like, oh, my product, I don't have one, 20%. No, no. Just sales revenue from any business. Put that figure down. Next step, intermediate goal. Intermediate goal, my friends, is 1 year. So that 3-year goal you had, this intermediate is 1 year. So divide your number of financial that you put down, divide it by 3. Use your calculator if you need to. That'll give you a figure. When you got that, just say, got it. I'm looking for speed. Because the more you're thinking, you're overthinking. It hasn't happened, don't worry. It's just you need to go through the experience. You get how quick it is to set goals. Has everyone got a 1-year goal? Okay, good. I'll go with the pace of Liz and Jennifer. So that's 2021. This is 2019. Hello, this year. So you can't say, oh, what's your goal financial? You just put it down. That's how you get to that figure. Next, you divide that 1-year goal into 12 months. Why 12? Because that is 12 months of this calendar year. And that should give you another figure. When you've got that, say, got it. And then I'll move on. So the rest of you, trust me, you're overthinking it. Because the people who say, got it, that's how fast you need to go through this. So perfectionists in the room, just move on a little bit. Okay? You know who you are. Okay. So everyone now should, or at least copy the person next to you who said, got it. Just copy their figure. It doesn't matter. That's your monthly goal. You got it? Good. If you're ambitious, if you're what? And I'm assuming some of you are still here, so I'm assuming at least there's a little bit of ambition from some of you, right? Wow, maybe not. Who's ambitious here? Even Africans with no lunch do better than that. Oh my God. Did you hear yourself? I've seen this lady passionate. This is, I don't know what that was. Anyway, let's just call it after lunch blues. Yep. Okay. Me, I'm like, yeah! That's me. Everybody's like, whoa, that's intense. Don't you have to be a little bit crazy to sell an idea? And not care so much about other people? I'm telling you. It's the simple things that stop us. It's not complicated. I can smell who's ambitious. So anyway, this is probably more for me than you, but here's what I did. I divided that into 30 days. Why? I need to know every time I wake up what the hunt is about. Every day, Premier and I, she's in marketing, she's responsible for sales in one of our companies. We have a number. Everything we do, we live, we breathe, we shit this number. And there is no conversation about, Primi, how's your hair? Or this. It's like, hey, how amazing is it good? What's your number? This. Did we hit it? Yes. Good. Woohoo. We celebrate. We go crazy. We don't hit it? Why didn't you hit it? You get it? Oh, because, you said some mean things. You bastard. I'm like, ah, shit. Sorry. What else? Let's fix it. Good. Can we hit it tomorrow? Yes. Okay, let's go. So it's not personal. You understand? We're both chasing a number. We're not chasing emotions. I wish you a business like that. It's called mature. You understand? But if you don't have numbers, guess what you're going to fight about? You know what you said to me on Tuesday? You think, I have no time for that shit. And nor do you. Otherwise, go back to kindergarten. Got it? You gotta manage your business through numbers. People are a little bit complicated. I hope you got that. So, if you don't have a daily goal, how can you say you're a leader? Because what are your people aiming for exactly? Yeah? Can't tell you how many people say they're leaders and yet they're not demonstrating that. So, food for thought for you. I hope you got that. Step 1, long range, intermediate, short, daily. This one is where the magic is, because here's what our business does. We have daily and weekly tasks. We don't even worry about the year. We just focus on the week and the day. Yes or yes, team? That's it. There's no other discussion. So, now we can hand out that tool. Then I went for this $50,000 program with someone you probably don't care about. And out of all that crazy I'm a personal development junkie. Okay. So don't judge me, but that's just how it is. But I pay a lot of money. How much? A lot of money for personal development. Here's why. I read somewhere, and I think it's true because I've had personal experience. The level of your bank account will never exceed the level of your personal development. The level of your bank account will never exceed your personal development. So I'm not telling you get coaching from me, but please don't kid yourself. The most successful people I know all have coaches and are all into personal development. Why? The people who win a lotto after 5-10 years are more broke than they were before they started. So it's not a money issue, it's a mental issue. Please invest in yourselves, particularly what's between your ears. Your brain, in case you missed that, yeah? Okay. That's where it's at. You can go to a person or a client and go, what's wrong with you? Or you can say, I wonder what's concerning you at the moment. Just these words alone will make you more money. Where do you think I picked that up from? How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a book. I use that line and it pays me over and over and over again. Of course I'll spend $50,000 on personal development. Tony Robbins, $150,000. Chris Howard, I can't even tell you. Richard Branson, don't even ask. He's a billionaire. What does he need money for? You don't get it. I play the 10% game. Whatever I earn, I put 10% into personal development. Guess what happens? That grows into 20, then I make double. Interesting. So, I told you I'd give you the fundamental fulfillment components that make people very successful. Would you guys like some tools? I can love to give you some. It's pretty free. Have you got some more? Yeah, just throw them out. She's listening. I mean, he's laughing at me, but she's listening, so this is kind of good. So, I don't take myself seriously. Anyway, so, look, there's only these that has been neuroscience, psychology, people, behavior, it doesn't matter. If you set a career or business goal, you'll be more fulfilled. Why? We as human beings want to create things. Yes or yes? This is one of the best vehicles for it. Number 2, intellectual or skill. That's why I talked about personal development. Some of us only set goals until we got our degrees and then we stopped learning. What a waste of what's between your ears. My university started after university, because I started learning the things I needed to help me achieve what I wanted. I recommend that for you. Top CEOs read 60 books a year. That's your standard. How many books are you reading? Oh, well, I read a few Mills and Boom. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Books that are connected to your industry, books that are connected to skills. Next, health and fitness. Family and friends. Love and romance. I put that in 2 categories. There's love, self-love, and then there's love for the other. Just my take on that, up to you. Some of you only have love for the other and you don't know how to look after yourself. Well, guess what? You're going to lose that partner anyway. Because nobody sticks around with someone with low self-esteem. You don't. Right? So, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Next, fun and adventure. By the way, if you came yesterday, if you noticed, I've changed it. That's just how I roll. Fun and adventure. My friends, adventure sometimes isn't always fun. I jumped out of a plane once. If you go back to this plane place, you see fingers on the door. I didn't want to do it. I was like, ah, right? But after that jump, oh my God, I was like, what? Living. Isn't that funny how that happens? It's the things we think we're going to die from are the things that make us live the most. So my point is, why are you living in a life of fear so much? Try this fucking business thing. It'll change your life. And even if you fail, you got something to teach. And then just try again. You understand? It's not... Yeah. Next, finance. You already have a finance goal. Finance. That's Italian. You have a finance goal, yes? Everyone have a finance goal? Put up your hand if you have a finance goal. Okay, so I've already helped you with one. You saw that journey. My recommendation, just put an hour of your time and do the rest for the rest of them. But my last and final one, and I'm noticing this, the bigger we grow and the more I'm connecting with billionaires, they're the biggest contributors I have ever met. Your wealth is in direct proportion to the contribution you make in the marketplace. Think about what I'm saying to you. So yes, the people with the fancy cars driving around are probably serving more people than you. Try that for size. So don't get angry about it. Learn from it. So here's what is missing in a lot of goal setting seminars. It's very easy to set some goals like we did. But here's my challenge to you. Primi, can you remind me to swap the growth and the goals? Yeah? For next time. This should come last. Yeah. Guys, if you're going to be in business, my question to you is, are you productive or are you busy? I put in 20 hours. Nobody cares. What did you sell in that hour is what matters. You get it? There is a huge difference. It's not a job. It's not a job. Don't confuse activity with productivity. That's pretty much how my coach puts it. I hope you write that down. Some of you are just busy being busy. But what are you doing? What's producing the results is where you spend 80% of your time. Then take the rest of the weekend off. That's what I'm saying. Go love your partner and do stuff. Okay? Next. Intellectual. I couldn't read. I had to figure out how to read, so I learned this skill called photo reading. Some of you can read, so you have no excuse. But go pick another skill that you need that's going to help your business, to help you learn faster. Get coaching, whatever it is, but get into the skill development space. Don't just think you're going to figure it out. Well, you can, but it just takes you too long. Yeah? I'm a big believer in fasting. My culture has it. The Egyptians had it, so I just tried it and it works for me. Doesn't mean you should. It's just go pick something that's going to help you learn how to appreciate your portions of food and your relationship to food and sugar. That's all I'll say. Do your research. It's a crazy thing. It's just a crazy thing. I run 5 times a week. Why? That's just my thing. You go for yoga, you do whatever it takes. Go for walks on the beach. I don't care. But make sure you make a commitment to yourself. The frequency is the most important here. Right, Jennifer? Yeah, good. Next, family and friends. My favorite, let go. Thanks, guys. Let go of the negative people that don't believe in your dreams. There's some people I was with because they were pretty, they were hurting me from the inside. There's some people I was with just because they were making me money and paying me money, but they're destroying my self-esteem. There's a great quote I love that you want to write down. It's like, people can't see it for you if they can't see it for themselves. So if someone starts to criticize you, they're just telling you who they are. My point is, you got to make a decision. Do you want to hang out for the rest of your life with someone like that? If you want to succeed, I don't know. You make that decision. I wish I could tell you I was like super strong and I cut off my relationship. No, they usually leave me. So whichever way, it's going to happen, okay? Just better if you're proactive. That's all I'm saying, right? Make the decisions. Love and romance. I talked about self-love romance. Me, road routines. I love going to movies. I love just being on my own. My team would tell you. I just disappear. I check out. I just don't want to talk to anyone, don't want to know anyone, don't want to pick up a phone, nothing. That is important to me. Other people are extroverts. They love people and get fired up about that. That's cool. Just find out what floats your boat. Do more of that and set some frequencies in. Some of you are working and you haven't even called your mother for the last couple. Don't wait, my friends. You only get 2 parents. I'm telling you this because some of this stuff has cost me in the long term. Make commitments to the people you love. I like dancing. I just don't do enough of it. So this year, that's the plan. Finance, I used to save. I think there's a good book, old one called The Richest Man in Babylon. I recommend it. People in our program know about that book. It's so old, but it's perfect. Read it, it's simple. They say save 10% of all you earn, particularly if you're in business. But once you start making a lot more money, double it to 20. Warren Buffett saves 50% or 60 now, I don't know. It's just crazy. But he started that when he was only earning $100 a month. You get it? It's a habit. It's not an amount. I hope that helps you. Last is, do yourself and me a favor. You want to change the world, become uber successful in business. Why? You can employ people that can change the world with you. I can't tell you how amazing it is to have a team of people. You infuse their values, you teach them how to lead. Guess what they do? They take that home and they lead their families better. It's one of the best contributions I think you can make is having a sustainable business. I know that's so weird for you because some of you think World Vision is going to help. I'm a World Vision kid. I didn't see your money. I did not see your money. So don't waste your time with shit like that. Well, that's my strong opinion. Okay? It does more damage than good. But when people are in an environment where they're earning money, it's a very different story. It's a very, very, very different story. Okay? So, my point is this. Start with this one as step 1. Okay? And then move straight to step 2. Remember I talked about MVP for some of you in ideation stage. Once you set the goal and you know the area of experience you want fulfillment in, your challenge to you is what are you prepared to change in your habits? Because it's in your habits is where things actually start changing, my friends. Most of you want to be a millionaire, but you're not putting in the hours. You see what I'm saying? Most of you want a good relationship, but you're a shit person. No offense. I'm one of them probably. I'm single too. But I'm okay with that. Yeah? So, you want a guy with a lean body, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. Start with yourself. Because here's what my coach told me all the time, and I hate it, but it's true. We attract who we are. You attract who we are. So if you don't have the money, you're not worth much in finance. That's all. You want more? Become more. Are you getting this? You got to become more. You want a better relationship? Become a better person. You want better clients? Become a good business person that serves those people. You want people to work with you? You better be a better leader. There's no way around that. So if you have problems in staffing and you better look in the mirror and look really hard. Really, really hard. Because it's got nothing to do with them, it's got everything to do with you. Because you attract who you are. If you don't like that, bro, get busy. Okay? Has everyone got this? There's only 3 areas to goal setting. 1 is setting the fulfillment area. 2 is setting the goal like everybody teaches. I'm all down for that. But if you don't set habits, you are delusional. You're kidding yourself. How much time do we have? We're finished. So, here's how you achieve the impossible. I would love to tell this story, but I can't. All I'm just going to tell you about this thing, my friends. There was a period of time I was blaming every single person for all my problems. Everyone was the fault of why I didn't have what I thought I deserved. And if that's you, there's one title you have that you need to reconcile with is you're just a complainer. Stop complaining. Start deserving. I didn't know the difference and I was blaming the government for this, my ex-wife for that, and this and this and this and this. And I lost everything and I blamed everyone else, business partners, everybody for that. I went to see this crazy shrink that took me down and put this transcendental experience on me, whatever. Ended up in this place where basically the experience I had was where my son, it was a choice between me standing in front of these crazy-ass lions killing me or my son. Guess who I chose? I stood in front of my son. And for whatever reason, I did crazy things, and before you knew it, I woke from this experience. And I was so motivated. There was no more excuses left in me because I recognized one thing. I would do more for my boy than I would do for myself. And from that day, my friends, I took full responsibility for my divorce. full responsibility for my health, full responsibility for my finances, full responsibility for myself. When that day comes for you, you realize the most powerful people have one thing in common. They take full responsibility for all their results, good and bad. That's it. It's so easy for me to know who I spend my time with. The people in my circle take full responsibilities. Axel, Vanda, Primi. We don't say, oh my God, it's because, no, it's like, that was my responsibility, I'm accountable, I'll fix it. That's it. Everyone else, well, you know, it's because of retrograde. Okay. Or the volcanoes, or the Kitas. I don't know. The list is endless in this country. But here's my point. It's just endless everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, right? In the West, it's taxes. I don't know. Red tape. Just own it. I really hope you got that. So here's what I'm trying to say about that story. Stop hitting the play button, watching it like Game of Thrones, and then you watch your whole life go away. It'll pass you. Time is so fast. Start hitting the go button. You want this success? Go for it. You set these dumbass goals on financial, check your habits, go for it. You see the difference? So the last workshop, my friends, is I'm going to give you 4 steps of things that not only are going to change your year, these 4 things are going to change your life. I don't just want to leave you in 2019. It's like, think bigger and think, how can I make my life better from today so I don't keep living the crap I've lived most of my life? Number 1, take responsibility. I told you. But number 2, set your list of priorities. And this is new, Jennifer, just for you. This dictates your yes and no's. I'm an entrepreneur. That comes first on my list. So guess what? I haven't seen my son in a while. This is just the truth about it. Is that okay with you guys? They're just sacrifices I had to make. Some of them I chose, some of them I didn't. Yeah? Hey, guys. But here's what happened. I picked my health. I picked this. I picked great quality connections. No more shitty relationships, whatever. I picked that list. When I did, the number 2 is I prioritized my list and I picked the number 1 thing that will give me 80% of what I want in life. Did you hear me? So you might start with 7, but you better pick 1. And this one thing, you tattoo it on your forehead and never, core members in the program know this, it is a non-negotiable. For me, I must succeed. It is, can you feel it? It's like, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if Bali people do this and Indonesians do that and then the Bule people don't have money or they do this and that. I don't care. I'm going to succeed. If I have to go drink all that lake to find it, I'm going to do that. Because that is my number 1 focus. Why? It affects everything else in my life. I can't tell you what sending money to Africa does for me. I cannot explain it. Hugs don't count there. No do chakra or whatever. Nothing. Cash. That's the language they know. So I don't care if you think I work harder than you. It's just I have a reason for that. Some of you have rich parents or rich passports. I don't know. But there's something you know you need that's going to be the thing that you're going to be proud of for yourself, right? That thing better be so clear on that list, because here's the third thing. You have to go through that lion experience I just told you about and face your fears. That's what that lion represents. There's something you're scared of, be it your parent, your lover, your father, someone you value their opinion. You know by doing this one thing they're going to leave you, judge you, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing you need to address, because that's the thing that's stopping you achieving it. It's not the fact that you can't. And then last, you better ask yourself, are all these other things you're doing urgent or important? And here's what I know about us. Media and the world has taught us so well to confuse the two. We make the unimportant so urgent and the important trivial. What is important? Having a good connection with someone. What is important? Living within your means as you build your business. What is important? Not caring about what other people think about you, because quite frankly, they don't care and they're too busy thinking about themselves anyway. What is important? Not following the Joneses just because cryptocurrency is trending. What the fuck are your skills? That's what's important here. And build your business around that. Is this making sense? I can't tell you. This is why I lose people. Yeah, but you don't understand. Everyone is in the restaurant industry. So? So what? I came here wanting to be a coach. There's 10 billion coaches in Ubud, just Ubud alone, right? You can't make it in that. Really? You understand what I'm saying? It's important to me. That's why I did it. So what's important to you is what you should be spending 80% of your time on. 20% is for fun, love, and whatever, 80% you better be about your business. So if I check your calendar and I'm not seeing that where you're spending your time, investing your skills, investing in coaching or leadership or whatever, you are delusional. At the end of 2019, you call us lucky and you'll be like, yeah, retrograde happened. That's what happens every single year for most people. It didn't happen. You just didn't take action on your priorities. And when you find your priorities, I was talking to my team about this, start saying no to other things that are kind of nice. I would love to go other places. I'm not, because this is my priority. You get me? Most successful people say no more than yes. Right, Clementina? Yeah, right on you. She knows what I'm saying. I hope you got that. So, last to close. I already know where most of you are because we've had this conversation with you guys about this. I can't harp on it enough. All I need to do is say, hey, how you doing? And people go, yeah. I go, waiting for something to happen. It's not hard for me to find who's a peak performer. I just hear how you respond to yourself. If I say, how's life? And you say, so-so, that means everything in your life is so-so. If you say great, you're optimistic, you're probably on the other side. If you say, shitty, you're down here somewhere. Those are only 3 responses. But that's your perception. So what's my point? What's your reaction to things? What's your tone and engagement when someone calls on an opportunity? Are you the first one to jump in, or are you waiting for the right time to get in there when it's safe? Up to you. This is what I want to encourage you guys to put on your goals this year. Start taking accountability by first acknowledging reality. If you're broke, say you're broke. Nothing wrong with that. I was broke, I've been broke, I'll probably be broke again. There's nothing wrong with that. Who says that's got anything to do with you exactly? It's just a past bad decision. You get it? Then own it. Now that you know you're broke, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Some of you go back down here and wait for retrograde to pass. Or you check someone else's parents, I don't know. Few of us in this room start looking for solutions. Go get coaching, change your network, read that book, travel, go and find the person that's successful and buy them lunch. And say, how the hell did you get this thing sorted? Bali brings in amazing people. And we miss it because we're too cool. Up to you. And then fix it. But I know by when I says, who's ambitious here? What did everyone goes? Yeah. You know what the universe goes? Whoa. The universe is looking for hungry people. That's the difference. So, here's a quote to finish off on for you guys to think about. I used to think being nice entitled me to success. I didn't think I thought it, but I do by the way I behaved. And some of you in this room, because you're nice, you think the universe owes you something. I've got news for you. Bob Marley put it better. Bob Marley says, why should I sleep when the bad people don't? I like that quote. Because the bad people just work. Yeah? Call them Monsanto, call them whatever you want to call them. In my opinion, I don't care, I don't judge. But I know Monsanto and all these other people were judging, Donald Trump included, are doing something very curious. They're serving in a meaningful way to someone somewhere. Maybe not you, yeah? But someone somewhere is buying their product or service or ideas. And those are the people that tend to be at the top forever. It has nothing to do with your gender, feminists in the room. It has nothing to do with my skin color, black power people in the room. It has nothing to do with your religion, your age, your creed, nothing. And it's been proven time and time again. You just need to get off that thing called your backside and start serving in a meaningful way to a specific marketplace. And my friends, I will meet you at the top. I really hope you get that. Stop making excuses. So, to finish, we have a challenge for some of you in this room. Because we're at that stage now, we don't have to coach everyone, and you've already got a taste for my style. I'm not for everyone, and I'm okay with that. But I'm looking for those people that really want to take on this world problem thing. But you gotta work. You gotta take steps in the right direction. And I don't know if I'm for you, but do yourselves a favor. Put coach on the top of your list and go find someone out there that can help you. I don't care who it is. You can't do this on your own. I can't do this on my own. My coach puts it this way. You can't see the picture when you're in the frame. You get it? I'm in my own frame, so Richard Branson kicks my ass about shit I need to think about. And I don't think he's as skilled at some things as I am, but that's not the point. It's just objective. That's what I'm saying there. So for us, we're looking for a few people. We only have like a couple spots for coaching, but we recognize some people are signing up, paying the money, but they're not doing anything. This is frustrating. So we created this 3-day challenge where we want to see who's open and wants to learn and grow. And so we set up a 3-day challenge. And basically this 3-day challenge sends out 3 PDF A4, only 1 page, yes? Very complicated, of the book I wrote, which actually just talks about the 6 steps. There's about 6 steps you need to do if you're at the ideation stage. If you've launched your business, you've got to proof it, and a lot of people struggle here. But once you do, you've got to scale it in the areas that matter. This book, as you can see, is available in hard copy here, I think. It's $25, which is what in rupiah? 350,000, yeah, that one. 355,000 rupiah. People go, oh, is that expensive? I don't know. What's the cost of ignorance? Because I know we're going to go out one day together, buy a wine, 2, then 3, we're already over it. But what did that do for you? It gives you a good experience. But what about a manual? So you don't have to start wasting time in the wrong places that I did. Took me 30 years to figure this thing out. But here's my point. You can get all this on Google. It's just I don't know if they're going to explain it simply because everyone's trying to sell you something. This book is just available for that person that just kind of goes, okay, I think I can start that journey. But if you can't, don't worry about it too much. An email will be coming to you if you go and see Primi. Wave your hand. Sign your email address there on your WhatsApp. Yes, we'll contact you. And you get these first chapter of the first book. And if that's worth your while, you can buy it online for $19. That's the best I can do. But I will never make things cheap because I'm a poor boy from Africa who spent too much money on personal development. And I'm still making money on it. So why would I give it to you for free? Nobody appreciates free anyway, right? That's just how it is. But if you are happy to play with us, Primi is also the most intelligent person I know. Actually, that's true. Everyone is. Sorry, before I get in trouble. She's just a linguist and we're not. She translated into Bahasa because she forced me to work with more local people. We're talking in all the local universities and they're going to get 1 book for free for every hard copy you buy. That's just what we're trying to do because we're looking for the enterprising people. So if you want to be part of that campaign with us, do business with her, okay? So let me leave you with this final note. Remember I told you guys I was going to kill myself, yeah? I don't even know how that came, but I don't know if some of you have ever been here where you're so low, you just think you're like 0's a goal. But even you can't see yourself getting there. So I took all these crazy pills and drugs all at the same time. It was quite an experience, actually. And this guy came and kicked me up and made me throw up. He did the kissing. Or no, it felt like a kiss, but whatever you call that thing. And I'm throwing up. This guy's never brushed his teeth for 10 years. It was an extreme experience. I'm not sure which one I recovered from the most. But something really fascinating happened because in my country, people die all the time. So we're not really afraid of death.
Yeah, just like it's my first time that I just seen you coaching, and I was really impressed by your power and by your story that you just living through. And it was like, for me, it was like, how do you say? like the power of yours got a little bit over to me, and I feel more ambitious right now. Yeah. Was-
What are you going to do? He wants to be a coach. That's why I picked him. So what are you going to do that's going to help your coaching career?
Yeah, like first of all, I have to get the knowledge,
Yeah.
and after that, I think I want to be more self-confident, and then I want to help other people to get the knowledge and live their dream and live they're looking for, and yeah.
What's the one thing you do this year that's going to help that?
Pardon?
What's the one thing you do this year that's going to help that?
The one thing that I can do. Yeah, start my own. Start to be like more self-confident by my own, like just work by doing.
Sleep on it.
Nah, I have to practice. I have to work with it. I have to get up. I have to push the go button for sure. And you told, and yeah, it's like this. Get,
Did you notice we can talk and talk all like we like? He's got to pick one thing he's going to do. And if I was his coach, I'm not. I'd say by tomorrow, book yourself into a workshop and do a presentation on your path, something like that. That's the one thing that's going to help him with his confidence versus a million